Hello and welcome back to the Lincoln Loco 2. Today, a little change to the schedule that we planned from last time. This time, we're playing Doncaster in League One and now Fulham in the Carabao Cup third round. So hello, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. As previously mentioned, we have changed the lineup just a little bit for today's episode, but we'll talk you through why in a moment's time. Plenty of news to bring you in today's episode. A lot of stuff happening. First of all, though, Admir Ramic, he is possibly the best player that we've bought in a long time. He has been really, really phenomenal this season. So, Admir Ramic, already I'm pointing him out to be player of the season. 9 games so far, 3 goals, 1 assist, 2 player of the match, and a 7.12 average rating. It's pretty decent, and if we look at his milestones, he recently just won... where is it? No awards. What are we talking about? I swear he just won Player of the Month. I know it was Young Player of the Month he won, but it's still a Player of the Month award. So Young Player of the Month, Admir Ramic, what a player he's turning out to be. In what could be more exciting news, we might be having our 3rd board takeover in the series, which is pretty decent if this guy called Max Curtis, who's looking to become the chairman, looking to wipe out the club's debts, which actually is quite a lot to be fair, considering we've got debts for a new stadium and training facilities and things like that. That would be pretty decent if he comes in and wipes those debts out the way and invests a bit of money. That would be quite decent. So we potentially could have a new chairman. 2 bank loans that we've taken out actually total to 1.9 million, remaining 1.2 million. So if he wipes out the water, that's actually pretty nice. Now, we said last episode we needed a few more signings, and we have made 4 of them. 3 on free transfers and 1 coming in on loan. A few players have left the club on loan. We'll talk about that a little bit, but nothing to worry about really. Adam Richards is a new guy that we brought in this season. He's gone loan to Halifax. Strugnall's been here for a few seasons, been on loan for a few clubs, gone to Grimsby this year. Greg Irwin is the first of the 4 new players, but he's gone straight out on loan to Dulwich Hamlet. Not much to talk about with him. He's just a player with a bit of decent potential that I thought we could use in the future. Have been at Liverpool before us, but has gone to Dulwich Hamlet in the National League to try and get a bit of experience. So Greg Owen is the first transfer that we made. The next 3 are actually going to be in the squad sort of thing, so look forward to this. Jimmy Campbell is up first. He is a central midfielder. We just need a little bit more bulk in that centre of midfield, and Jimmy Campbell provides, I think, a lot of versatility in that centre midfield position. I think he's going to be a really, really good player for us. Has been at Colchester and Swansea recently, and last season was on loan at Swindon in League 2. Played alright here. She's going to be more of a backup player for us this season, but has had decent spells with other clubs in the past before. Gateshead particularly played very well for them in League 2. I think he's about ready to make a step up to League 1 this season, so hopefully he'll be alright. Next up, we signed Carl Smith on a free transfer. He's a central defender. We just saw a few central defenders that actually could probably help us boost that centre of defence a little bit. So he comes in looking pretty decent, I've got to say. I'm quite pleased with Carl Smith. 3-star current ability and 4-star potential, perhaps not the best for the future sort of thing, but for a player right now, he's very, very good for this division, in my opinion. Has been at Preston his entire career and on loan at Oldham and Leyton Orient in the past 2 seasons. Played very well for Leyton Orient last season, so hopefully he does the same for us today. And finally, coming in on loan is Richard Smith. So another Smith, and confusingly, both the Smiths are central defenders. Richard, though, is the slightly better one. 3.5-star current ability with 4.5-star potential. Should be very, very solid for us this season. I've got big hopes for him. Played well for Rotherham last season in this division. Got a wealth of experience at this level already and has played a handful of Championship. I will say a handful. He's played a full season in the Championship for Hull there, actually. Has got a full season under his belts from a division above. So I think he's going to be a really well-rounded player for us. So they're the 4 transfers that we've made. Very quickly, hope you like those players. I think they have and added that bit of quality of the squad that we needed. Perhaps we could do with extra players in the attacking positions, but they're very difficult to come across. Ones that are at least good enough. So we may have to look in January again for more attacking players, but there we go. Anyway, on to the good stuff, and the good stuff is the fixtures. So you were last here for the opening game of the season against Lincoln City, a 1-1 draw there, which is pretty decent. We then said we'd play through all of August and go to the Coventry and Oxford game, but because we've won a few cup games in August, we've gone a little bit further to have the Carabao Cup third round game against Fulham today. We've never got this far in the Carabao Cup. In fact, we've never got past the first round before, so we've done pretty well to get this far. Let's wind things back though. Let's get straight back to the first game we played after that opening game of the season against Lincoln. We played Salford and lost 2-1. Dion McGee scoring both the goals for them, but Tommy Hole getting one for us. Wasn't the best performance in the world, but Salford looking like a decent side this season, so I'm not too upset with that result. We turned things around in the next game though. 3 points, the first 3 points on the board of the season. A 1-0 win at home against Bury. That was a really good result. Very pleased with Tyler Monk getting on the score sheet there. Next up, we had a pretty decent draw against Mansfield in the Carabao Cup. Mansfield, the league below. They battled all the way to penalties and we won the penalty shootout 5-4 in the end. So lucky, I've got to say, to get through it. This is the first time we got through the first round of the Carabao Cup, so I was very pleased. After that, 2 away games, one to Portsmouth, one to Bristol Rovers, both of them finishing 1-1 draws. And unfortunately, Portsmouth scoring a goal very late on. We've had a few instances of this already this season. We're 1-0 up. Ramich scoring the goal in the 47th minute, but they equalised in the 91st minute to snatch away 2 points away from us, which is really frustrating. Bristol Rovers game, very similar sort of thing, but we snatched the late goal to get an equaliser. They scored in the 12th minute, but Wade Ross, the new striker, gets one in the 86th minute. We do go back to winning ways against Wimbledon, though. Stephen Robbins in the 70th minute picks up the goal there to make sure we win that 1-0. I was really pleased with that result because Wimbledon are a decent side. Next up, we had Burton Albion in the Carabao Cup. Now, Burton are in our division, so it was a winnable tie, to be fair, and it was a very, very close game. But Mark Mason, Leon Griffiths with the goals make sure we won it 2-1 to progress to the third round for the first time ever in the Carabao Cup. So that was really promising. After that, our really good form against Middlesbrough continued. This time a draw, but as you can see, they scored in the 94th minute. So that was very, very frustrating. We've not lost against Middlesbrough yet. We've won 2, drawn 3 now, but that really should have been another win. We got very unlucky to draw to 10-man Middlesbrough in that game. After that was another cup game, this time a Checkatrade Trophy game against Rotherham. We won it this time, a 2-1 win against Rotherham. Jimmy Campbell and Wade Ross with the goals in that one, so again, very pleased with that result. We then played Coventry and had our 9th successive game without losing. This time goals from Mel Goff, Admir Ramic getting on the score sheet. Really good win there as well. We controlled the game pretty much from start to finish, so although the scoreline looks close, it was very good for us to win that game. We then went in the hunt for a 10th game in a row without losing. Unfortunately, we lost spectacularly to Oxford 4-1. It fell apart in this game, I've got to say, but Oxford deserved winners 4-1 in that game. So a pretty decent start to the season. What it does, it puts us 12th in the table, so bang on mid-table. You have to remember that we have played a lot of cup games as well, and we've won a few cup games, which is why the results look really good, but we're only mid-table. In terms of the context of a league, we've only won 3 league games, which actually isn't particularly good. We've drawn 4 of them, when really we should have won 2 more because of results. You know, we're conceding goals very late on in games. Only losing 2 is a really good statistic, but drawing 4 is just a bit too much, really. So right now for us, the table does look pretty decent. We're in that top half, or just about in that top half, so I'm pretty pleased with that. What's not looking good is at bottom of the table is Lincoln City, who have played 9, won none, drawn 2, lost 7. You know, you hate to see that. So there we go then. Board takeover potentially coming pretty soon. New transfers, we've updated the fixtures, we've looked at the table. Now it's time to get into today's game against Doncaster. We're sticking with this formation, it's worked pretty well for us so far. McClement stays in goal as per usual, and we've got the new sort of look back line. Turek and Hartop stay there from last episode, Hartop's the new right back. Turek's been there for a while, but Richard Smith and Carl Smith, the new centre backs, are coming in today to see what they can do. No change in the midfield as Woodthorpe, Goff and Ramic stay there. They've been really, really solid this season. I'm quite impressed with them. Same as Robbins is out on the left and Griffiths is out on the right. They've both been very good as well. But Wade Ross is starting up front for us today on the grounds that, if we look down, Mason's just come back from an injury. He'd been out for a little while with, I think it was some sort of groin strain or something like that. And then also, if we look down here, Tommy Hole's also just come back from an injury as well. He's been out for quite a while. He broke his ribs early on in the season. He's been out for a little while, to be fair. Won't be back for this episode either. So next episode, you'll probably see him again. Right then, kickoff is upon us here today at Doncaster. Not too far away from Lincoln, so a little bit of a local rivalry, this one. They're slightly above us in the table. They're sitting 9th, we sit 12th, so going to be a close game today. We have actually been quite unlucky at the start of the season. We've played a lot of decent sides so far. If you look at the table and looking at the teams that we've played, we've not really played many teams from below us in the table, but we have just taken the lead through Stephen Robbins. He's headed the corner in with the first shot of the game, putting us up in today's game. He's not had the best start to the season, I've got to say. It was a bit of a slow start for the first few games, but has grown into it a little bit. I have been impressed with the way he's responded to those early setbacks and not playing particularly well, but he's a decent player. As I was saying, though, we have played a lot of teams from above us. We have played Portsmouth, we played Oxford, we played Salford, we have played Middlesbrough. We played Coventry. We might play Coventry. I can't remember. Doncaster right now, I suppose they're above us, but more teams from above us, I think, than below us. I am pleased how we're progressing this season, though. We seem to be making progress from last season as well. So if we can sort of continue to hover outside the playoffs for a bit, we could make a late push at the end of the season. Half-time's come round pretty quickly, though. Only highlighting that first half was the goal, so hopefully we can hold on to things in the second half. Issue is, we're not playing particularly well. Only the one shot we've had all game, and that was the goal, of course. So we need to work a little bit harder in this second half if we want to do something and maintain this lead. As long as there's no highlights, though, I will be happy. But the less highlights there are, the more chances we have of winning, because if there's no highlights, they can't score a goal. However, as I say that, Doncaster do have a highlight coming towards them right now as they look to build from the defence. Playing it all the way back and trying to spread it out the other side of the pitch where we don't have many players at the moment. Their number 12 coming forward puts a great ball forward. It's headed through and they have scored quite a nice goal there, to be fair. That was very well worked. And considering we've only had 2 shots in this entire game, I'm struggling to see how we're going to get back in and win this game now. I think perhaps one thing we do is we maybe bring Tyler Monk on the pitch in that attacking midfield position. We've tried it a few times, to be fair. It's worked with varying effects, having an attacking midfielder up there from the start of the game sort of thing. I think we are better playing with a central defensive midfielder. But what we will do right now, I think, we're starting to come back into this game a little bit more. So it would make sense, I suppose, to take Woodthorpe off and bring Tyler Monk on. Maybe see if he can just do something a little bit different out there. I think what we're going to do, actually, we'll make Monk an advanced playmaker, rather, on attack. And then we'll swap Littler with Goff. And then we'll make Littler, a Mazzala on support. I think that might be something we can do. That might just make us a little bit more attacking, I think. They've been slightly better in terms of shots and a few match stats, but we've had much better possession. So a draw is probably the correct result, really, on paper sort of thing. But I really want us to just grab something right at the end of this game. I think we can do it. Show some passion. 4 minutes of added time. I reckon we've got it in us to do it. Free kick coming forward. It's headed over by Carl Smith there, unfortunately. Few more minutes left in today's game to try and do it. But as the clock ticks down with 15 seconds or so to go, I don't think it's going to happen. There's no change. We've just moved back up to 12th position. So we stay in 12th, 6 points off the playoffs, which isn't too bad for only 10 games into the season. A long way still to go. And considering that we've played some pretty decent sides from above us in the table so far, we've still got a lot of teams who are below us in the table to play still. I'm pretty excited for the rest of the season to come. We might have a chance, though. Robbins, in the last moment of the game, it's not put in the back of the net. Keeper saves it on the line. Really, we should have scored from that. How? I don't know if it's just us lacking that bit of quality, because I've said this for the past 2 or 3 seasons. I think we do have enough quality to be scoring goals, but those kind of situations, I'm not quite sure how we're not scoring. What could have been a win turns out to be a draw, but you know what? As I said before, we'll take the draw against Doncaster. They are a good side. On to the Carabao Cup game then, and to be fair, I don't think I'd normally show this to you because it's just the Carabao Cup. We're not expected to win it. Getting to the third round, although it is the third we've ever got in the Carabao Cup, we'll probably lose to Fulham. The reason I want to show it to you is because a little striker of ours known as Mark Mason, you may or may not know of him, but he's a pretty decent player. We signed him from Fulham when Fulham let him go. So I just want to see how he does against Fulham, really. We're going to play him against Fulham. I want to see how he does against his old club. Now, of course, Fulham are heavy favourites, but they're only in the division above us. They are 6th in the Championship. They are playing for a place in the Premiership, I suppose, and playoffs in the Championship. But I think we're going to stick with a full-strength lineup, just because there's always chance of an upset. Yeah, we've got Notts County 2 days after that, but we're early in the league still. There's still plenty of time to pick up wins in the league. Carabao Cup could be a pretty decent cup run for us if we get past Fulham. There's already been an upset in the third round of the Carabao Cup. Man United beat Gateshead. That's a big upset, that is. So the only change that we're going to make right now is Mason's going to come on for Ross. And then, defence are looking a bit tired. We'll bring Farrell on for Carl Smith. No, Hunter's going to come on for Carl Smith. Robbins is looking very tired, but we don't really have anyone to play in his position. If we're being honest with ourselves, Webb can play there, but he's not playing there, I'm afraid. He's nowhere near good enough. So we're going to have to stick with Robbins for now and maybe rest him and maybe try and switch things up for the County game. It's going to be tough, I think, against County. We're going to have a very, very tired squad, but if we win today, it's all going to be worth it. Right then, kickoff is upon us here at Craven Cottage. Now, with the Carabao Cup, I'm not sure if the gate receipts get split in half like the FA Cup do. So, if they do, fantastic. We could get a nice bit of money from today's game, especially if Fulham get a big crowd. If that's not the case, then it doesn't really bother us at all, and we won't make any money off this game at all, and a cup run in the Carabao Cup probably isn't really that worth it for us. The first 20 minutes or so has been pretty cagey. The one shot for us, no shots for Fulham, which is quite good to be fair. We've had more possession as well, so actually perhaps we are looking like the stronger side out there. I didn't really think about this because this will go to extra time if it's 0-0 at the end of the game or a draw at the end of the game. Our players, I don't think, are going to make it through extra time and then be able to play Notts County in a few days' time. So I expect just to lose to Notts County, especially if we go to extra time. But it's if we do end up winning today, it is worth it. Keep telling yourself that, Tom. Just keep telling yourself that. So after a cagey first half, 2 shots apiece, and Richard Hunter sitting on a 7.2 rating. Really, this has been a very, very boring, and to be fair, quite a boring episode in terms of the games, on the grounds that not much been going on in either of them. First highlight of the game now is going towards Fulham, and actually, to be fair, looking at the numbers of the players, we've cleared the ball there. Looking at the numbers of players, they seem to have quite low numbers. There's no 99s in there. There's no 46s out there. So I think they are playing a pretty full-strength lineup. 7,000 fans here today in Fulham as well, by the way. So if we do get half the ticket receipts, that will be quite a nice little boost to our income. It does look like, though, we are going to be going to extra time, maybe. So I think we need to try and grab some goals. Woodthorpe again is going to come off, and Tyler Monk's going to come on. We'll leave Goff on the pitch this time, though. Ramage is looking very tired, so Littler will come on for him. We'll make Littler the Mazzala rather than a box-to-box midfielder. Richie Hartop is looking really tired out there as well, so we're going to bring Farrell on for him to play at right back. They're the 3 changes that we'll make. Hopefully, they'll do the job for us. It is quite promising, though, that we are playing, well, I say this well against Fulham. Neither side are playing particularly well, but defensively, we've done very well, obviously, because we've got 2 defenders here on 7.5s and 7.4s. At the same end of the spectrum, though, their defenders are also pretty high. We do have a free kick, though. Smith into the middle. Tyler Monk puts it in the back of the net to beat Fulham with only a minute of added time. We are going to the Carabao Cup 4th round, as Lincoln United have just taken the lead against Championship side Fulham, who are chasing a place in the playoffs. Of course, Mark Mason came from Fulham as well. He's not really had much of an impact at all in today's game. He's done nothing as far as I'm aware. But Mark Mason, he's come to the right club. He left Fulham to come to us, and Fulham should be kicking themselves in the teeth because, I mean, I don't know why they would be, because he's not done anything today and hasn't really done anything all season for us so far, but they should be kicking themselves in the teeth for letting him go to us. So good stuff. We've got a good chance then of progressing into the later stage. Do we get any prize money for that? I don't think we do get any prize money. Also, not a clue if we made any money off the gate receipts for that. Maybe we did, because that's quite a lot of gate receipts, £147,000. I'm going to assume we did make a bit of money off gate receipts there. I really don't actually know if that is the case or not. So if someone knows in the comment section, please do let me know. 4th round draw then. It's on the same day as the county game. So we'll go forward to the county game. We'll rest the players, by the way, just to make sure they've got a chance at least of being relatively fit-ish. Oh, I'm absolutely buzzing with that result. That's so good. Because we have brought a few good defenders in, though. Another new defender that we brought in right at the start of the window, Mike Coates. He's a bit cross because he's not playing football. We'll ask Turiak to resolve the issue right now. Will Turiak sort this out for us? Is Coates going to be like dropping the charges against us? He's going to have a word, but he can't resolve the happiness. So what we'll say to him then, because obviously he wants to have first team football, Richard Smith's in the form of his life right now, and he doesn't agree with that. So I tell you what, we'll give you a few opportunities, Mike Coates, because he is a good defender, to be fair. We'll give him a few opportunities, hopefully try and make him happy again, but we might have a few issues in defence this season with quite a few centre-backs who are pretty decent. It's perfect timing. My girlfriend just arrived, so it's time for me to end the episode. But we need to find out who we're getting in the cup draw. It's exciting. We just beat Fulham to get here.
What team are you?
Lincoln United. That means nothing to you, does it? So here we go. We're at the draw. Potentially could be drawn against Chelsea or Liverpool. That would be pretty decent. Let's go into this then. 16 teams to draw. Right. Let's keep going through it until we get to us at some point. Here we are. We're at home. So, I mean, that's not ideal because we've got quite a small stadium. I'd rather be somewhere else. Of the teams that are left then, I'd rather have an easier draw. So maybe like a Bradford or a Chester or a Bolton. But to be fair, we'll take any side. Any side that we bring to our place will sell out anyway. So if it's a Premier League side. So hopefully, actually, I don't really care who we get, actually. I'm saying all this. We've got Leicester, which actually is probably one of the only teams that we won't sell out against, I don't think. I mean, they're not too far away, but it's not the ideal draw. I would have wanted a Manchester City or a Manchester United, but we'll take Leicester. So that Leicester game's actually, it's at the end of October, so we've got a few games to play in between. So the next episode, we'll go straight to the Luton and the Leicester game. That makes sense to me. So thank you very much for watching today's episode. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have done, please do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. And I'll see you next time for some more Lincoln Loco action.